Twice a year, the entire world pretends time isn't real. We skip an hour or invent one. Planes get grounded, people miss meetings, heart attacks spike. And all of this started because a teenager in New Zealand wanted to catch bugs. This isn't about saving energy, it's not even about logic. Daylight saving time is one of the weirdest time hacks in human history, invented by bug collectors, hijacked by golfers, and now affecting billions of people, while almost no one knows why. Let's get one thing straight. Time is fake, or at least the way we use it is. Sure, the sun rises and sets, that part's real, but the 9 to 5, human invention. Calendars, socially agreed hallucinations. Clocks, just spinning symbols we've all decided to take seriously. And twice a year, in a bizarre act of global synchronization, hundreds of millions of us change the time. Not because the sun moved, but because we said so. It's called Daylight Saving Time, DST. If you live in most of North America, Europe, parts of the Middle East, or Australia, you probably spring forward by 1 hour in the spring and fall back in autumn. The theory is you shift an hour of daylight from the sleepy morning to the lively evening. More time for grilling, shopping, golfing, and all the things humans apparently can't do in the dark. Sounds clever, but in practice, it's chaos. Software bugs, missed flights, surge in heart attacks, kids walking to school in the pitch black. And if you live near the equator, where daylight barely changes, it's absolutely pointless. So why do we do this? Because over a century ago, one man wanted more time after work for bug hunting. George Vernon Hudson was no ordinary nerd. Born in London in 1867, he moved to New Zealand as a teen and immediately fell in love with insects. By 14, he was publishing scientific papers on moths. At 16, he got a job as a postal clerk, a shift job which gave him the afternoons free, perfect for catching beetles before the sun dips. But winter was brutal. By the time he clocked out, the sun was already tapping out. The bugs were gone. So in 1895, Hudson walked into the Wellington Philosophical Society, New Zealand's high table of big-brained thinkers, and proposed an idea so wild it could only have come from someone who spent too much time in the woods. Let's change time. Shift the clocks forward by 2 hours in summer, he said. Give people more usable daylight at the end of the day. Not for commerce and not for industry, just so he could chase more bugs. Historians often call him eccentric. They're being polite. Hudson's idea made a ripple, but it was another man, William Willett, a wealthy English builder with a magnificent moustache and a deep hatred of wasted sunshine, who really ran with it. One early morning in 1905, Willett was out for a ride through London. The light was golden, the air was crisp, and all the houses still shuttered. People were sleeping through the best part of the day. As a passionate golfer, this offended him personally. Willett hated cutting his game short because the sun dipped below the trees at 8 PM. So he wrote a pamphlet called The Waste of Daylight. In it, he proposed moving the clocks forward during summer to give people more evening light. He even suggested doing it in 4 20-minute jumps to soften the blow. Parliament didn't buy it. The farmers hated it. The Astronomer Royal called it a logistical nightmare. Willett died in 1915, never having seen his dream realised. But then came war. In 1916, Germany, fighting a brutal coal-starved war on multiple fronts, needed to save energy. So they did the unthinkable, officially moving the clocks forward to reduce lighting needs. Britain, not to be outdone by the Kaiser, followed weeks later. And just like that, daylight saving time went from a hobbyist dream to national policy. America jumped on the bandwagon in 1918, waving the flag of wartime efficiency. Their pitch, daylight saving would help conserve energy, mainly coal. It sounded noble, patriotic even, but the energy savings, marginal at best. Still, the idea had already burrowed deep into public policy, and like a bureaucratic weed, it proved nearly impossible to uproot. Here's what they don't put on the calendar reminders. The Monday after we spring forward, the risk of heart attacks spike by 24%. Car accidents go up, productivity plummets, even the stock market drops. And yet lobbyists love DST. In the 1980s, 7-Eleven pushed to extend daylight saving time so kids could trick-or-treat in the daylight, because sweet treats equal profits. The golf industry even testified before Congress, claiming an extra month of DST was worth $400 million in extra tee times. Meanwhile, the farmers, they still hate it. Their cows don't care what your watch says. George Hudson died in 1946. His insect collection became the largest in New Zealand. He probably never imagined his dusty little paper on seasonal time adjustment would someday dictate the sleep schedules of billions of people. William Willett, he got a sundial in London Park, permanently set to DST. The rest of us, we're still caught in their clockwork. So next time you're fumbling for your alarm after losing an hour of sleep, cursing at a dark school morning, or a missed meeting, just remember, you're living in a world run by a bug collector and a golfer. Time, it turns out, is less about the sun, and more about what humans decide to do with it, especially when those humans really like moths. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.